Welcome to the Tech Stand-Up Special. We are so glad you're here. Today, we're going to make learning computer basics fun, memorable, and maybe even a little bit hilarious. We're going to turn you into a pro with your digital tools, so let's get right into it. You know that feeling, right? You say something, and the second it leaves your mouth, you just wish you could hit Control-Z and take it all back? Well, while we can't give you an undo button for real life, we can definitely help you master the digital ones that will save you a ton of headaches. So here's our plan. We're going to tell you some funny stories today. Why? Because our brains are just wired to remember stories way better than boring lists of facts. And these skills, they're not just random tips. This stuff is the foundation, the first solid step you need for those bigger certifications you might be aiming for, like the CompTIA+. Ready to get started? Let's do this. All right, I'm taking over for this first bit. We're going to talk about what I like to call the magic commands. Seriously, these are like digital superpowers. They're the tools you are going to use every single day, so let's make sure you've got them down perfectly. Okay, so picture this. I'm working from home, trying to get a bunch of things done at once. My partner needs the grocery list, so I type it up and hit copy. Just then, an email pops up from my boss. It says, need the final project numbers ASAP. So I'm scrambling, I open the email, and I quickly hit paste. I thought I was pasting the project numbers, but no, I pasted the grocery list. The email just said, don't forget the cat food. My boss replied, are you offering to buy me lunch? It was so awkward. So my little cat food disaster is the perfect way to understand the difference between copy and cut. I used copy, which makes a duplicate of something. But let's dig into that. Think of it this way. Your computer has this invisible holding spot called the clipboard. When you copy something, you're putting a clone of it onto the clipboard, but the original stays right where it is. Now, when you cut, you are actually moving the original thing to the clipboard. It vanishes from its first spot. And paste? That's just the action of taking whatever is on the clipboard and putting it in its new home. So copy is for duplicating, cut is for moving. And listen, this isn't just about avoiding grocery list mix-ups. This is absolutely critical for your IT career. When you're studying for something like the CompTIA+, you'll see that IT support is all about this. You'll be copying these super long, complicated error codes from a user's computer and pasting them into a search engine or a support ticket. Or you'll copy an exact command from a guide and paste it into a command line where one wrong letter could cause a big problem. Being fast and accurate with these tools isn't just nice to have, it's essential for the job. Okay, time for a little practice question. Imagine you've written a report, and you decide you want to move the first paragraph all the way to the end. What is the very first command you should use? The answer is B, cut. And the most important word in that question was move. Because you want to move it, not duplicate it, you have to get it out of that original spot. That's what cut does. If you used copy, you just have two of the same paragraph, which you don't want. And paste? Well, that's what you do after you cut. See? You've got this. All right, I'm back. So now that you know how to move words around, let's talk about making them look good. We're talking about formatting. You can think of it like choosing an outfit for your words. You want them to make a really good first impression. Oh man, my very first resume, it was a total disaster. I really wanted to stand out, so I thought it would be a brilliant idea to use five different fonts, and a bunch of different colors. It looked less like a professional document and more like a birthday card from a clown. A friend finally pulled me aside and very gently said, dude, I can't even read this. That's when I learned a huge lesson. Clean and simple always wins. And that's really what formatting is all about. It's just how your text is arranged and how it looks on the page. Good formatting makes your work clear, professional, and super easy to read. Bad formatting, well, it gets your resume thrown in the trash. The whole goal is to look clean and professional. So let's look at the basic tools you have. Font is the style of your letters, and size is just how big or small they are. Pro tip, just pick one or two clean fonts and stick with them. Bold and italics are great for making important words pop, but don't go crazy with them. Alignment just lines everything up neatly on the page, left, center, or right. But the most important thing here is consistency. Using the same styles makes you look organized and professional. And please, I'm begging you, always use the spell check. It is your absolute best friend and will save you from so many embarrassing mistakes. Okay, here's a little cheat sheet for your exam. Go ahead and screenshot this if you want. When you see the keyword formatting, I want you to just think how the document looks. Font is the text style. Alignment is where the text lines up, and spell check is your tool for finding spelling mistakes. Keep these keywords in mind, and you'll do great. Okay, I'm back. So your document looks amazing. But what happens if you save it and then you can't find it? So let's talk about navigating or finding your way around applications and your computer. Knowing this is the key to working fast and not wasting time.
So I had a moment of pure panic the other day. I could not find this super important project file that was due. I mean, my heart was pounding. I was clicking through every single folder, just getting more and more stressed. I spent a solid 20 minutes doing this. And then I remembered the search bar. I just typed in project_final and bam, it popped up in 2 seconds. It had been sitting on my desktop the entire time. The search bar is an absolute lifesaver.
And on this slide, you can see where to find these amazing tools on different computers. If you're using a Mac, you've got the menu bar up at the very top of the screen. That's where you'll find File, Edit, and all that. And the dock with your apps is at the bottom. Now, if you're on a Windows computer, everything you need is usually in the taskbar at the bottom, including that super helpful search box. Now, inside almost any program, there's another search tool called Find. This is so powerful. It's usually in the Edit or Home menu, but here's the pro move. Just use the keyboard shortcut. It's Control-F on a Windows computer or Command-F on a Mac. You just hit those keys, type the word you're looking for, and the program will jump right to it. It saves so much time. So why is this one little find function so important? I'll tell you why. When you move on to studying for things like Network Plus or Security Plus, you're going to learn about log files. These are massive text files with thousands, sometimes millions, of lines of text, and your job will be to find one single line, one tiny error that's causing a huge network problem. How do you do it? You use Find. This simple skill is what professionals use every single day to fix problems. Mastering it now is a really big deal for your future. I'm back for our last topic. Let's talk about adding pictures and other media to your work. Because words are great, but sometimes a picture or a video is exactly what you need to get your point across and make things interesting.
So I was making this big presentation for my boss about social media engagement, and I thought, hey, everybody loves cats, right? So I found this super cute photo of a cat, and I popped it into my slide. The problem was the photo was gigantic. It was so big, it covered all my text, the title, everything. The entire slide was just a giant, blurry cat nose. My boss was not impressed.
That whole cat nose disaster was totally avoidable. It's actually really easy. You just go to the Insert menu in whatever program you're using and you choose your image. Now here's the most important part, so listen up. Once the picture is in, you resize it by clicking and dragging the corners. I'm going to say that again. Always drag from the corners. If you drag from the sides, you'll stretch and squish the picture, and it will look really weird. The corners keep it looking perfect. All right, one last practice question for you. You put an image into your document and, whoops, it's way too big. What's the best and fastest way to fix it? And of course, the answer is C. Resize the image by dragging its corners. Okay, as we wrap up, let's go over your game plan for the exam. First, and this is huge, slow down. Read every single word of the question carefully. Second, look for keywords. If a question mentions slides, you know it's about a presentation program. If it mentions cells, it's about a spreadsheet. And please remember, everything we talked about today, these are the building blocks for every single thing you will do in IT. Mastering these basics will make your entire career so much easier. So practice, practice, practice. Okay, you've learned a ton. You know the basic commands, how to make your documents look professional, how to find anything, and how to add pictures. The power is officially in your hands now. So we're going to leave you with one final question to think about. With all these new superpowers, what are you going to create first? Go give it a try. Good luck.